Hi, I'm Brenda. I'm a teacher, seer, channeler, messenger for God. Shine the light in the dark, and psychic detective. Um, I have a few subjects. Um, well, one subject, I think, but a few points on it. I didn't get on the laptop and find the verses. Um, I'm struggling. Holy Spirit, please. I gotta cleanse my. Okay. I'm struggling to um figure out what's a teachable moment and what's truth and what's anger. What anger is that I'm holding on to that's not a teachable moment. If I'm teaching, then it has to be real, right? So that's why I'm venting here, like this. Hopefully I can help somebody. A small intro is yesterday was the 4th, right? Yep. And I'm not a drinker, and I drink, and I was feeling happy. That was why I drank. I was kind of celebrating a win. And I was feeling happy, and it was a great day, gorgeous for the last few days, so my mood was really great. But I got triggered last night, and of course, when I was drinking, I know Satan got in there because I hadn't said all my protection prayers for the day. But there's errands and stuff, and I don't know, we make decisions, and I don't know. So I'm still trying to digest this, and I thought it might be a teachable moment. The intro to last night, I was feeling happy. Yep, accomplished. I got out. I socialized, and I drank. I got mouthy, but I felt some people. I get mouthy when I see injustice. It really makes me mad. And there was intimidation on top of already abusive power with the situation, and I was shining a light on it. But my anger was in there too, because the people, the violators that did this to more of my friends than I was Wally, old Wally, and his wife Diane. They are neighbors, and they are landlords, and I know some of their business practices that have to do with them being landlords, and I'm not a fan. And I let that interfere with my frustrations last night, but these were the 4th tenants that I know that these people have had, and everybody that I know that has ever moved into they don't end up staying for long because their lives just get turned upside down the whole time they're living there. It goes from bad to worse. And I know these people do magic. I know he is a mason, and I know I'm supposed to shine light in dark. But in retrospect, I did see my anger there because I'm sick of this. I gave Wally a chance to come clean and do something and move this forward, and he just pretended like he knew nothing. I don't know. And, he's a honorable Judge Walter Jones. So, it's really hard for me not to be pissed. How many years they've been doing this, and how many people's lives have just the renting of this properties. They I don't know. They play games with the people. In good faith, these people are paying. They get behind on their bill because their life is turned upside down. These one other people, they came here with 2 cars. They were both ready to work. All of a sudden, one of them gets hurt and has to go to freaking wonderful. Not, I'm being sarcastic. Workers' comp, New York State workers' comp. And of course, it's a vague injury, and you don't get an answer, and so your life starts going down and your financial situation changes and you lose a car because you have to make sacrifices. And then all of a sudden, somehow a job opportunity just ends all of a sudden. And then you recover from that with these same two people, and it's just one thing right after the other. And I know Satan's in there, and we're supposed to be tested, but it's just, I've watched all these people's tenants, and I know they do magic and that, and I got a vibe last night. And then the thing that triggered me really was, okay, they're standing there, we lit fireworks, which is totally legal, all right, and they've already bullied my son from flying drones on the property because they have surveillance equipment that interferes with their drones, or their surveillance equipment. The drones interfere, and the fakeness of these people can be, under the guise of friendship. And I learned last night other things, that these people moved in under the guise of friendship, doing a favor for an old friend, and that's exactly how other people I know that have gotten to live there. And then, they get behind, and the thing is just because it's a market rent of $1,400 for a 2-bedroom, and conveniently they made these people sign the leases just before that policy went into effect last year. Isn't that nice? I mean, they intimidate and they use this against these people, and I knew all this information. They move in 3 to 6 months. Yes, under the guise of friendship, doing you a favor. Yes, like they set me up back in 2008, made the sheriffs come for a stupid overdue ticket that was a total setup, and they brought me in handcuffs. Had to, I lived in an apartment complex because I was battling a neck injury and that. They had to go and get me and bring me to court, and then he played the sincere, oh, well, I know her, so I'll just let her go. I recuse just let her go on her own recognizance. I know who she is. I know she's... It was all set up just so that they could look like they're doing me a favor. Meanwhile, in 2008, they were doing illegal things on my trust fund that they had stolen, and Wally had been in on helping do the illegal legal work, of keeping this blessing from me that my grandparents had for me. I don't know, so it was really hard to be humble and just not... They stood in we lit the fireworks, and it was 1, and all of a sudden he's out there. And then I said some comments like snake in the grass, which, when God gave me a message once to beware of, things around me, snakes in your grass, and there were 2 of them. They were in my... Yep, they were... So, I was just repeating what I had said, but yeah, I meant it derogatory. But then again, that's the message I got, and that was derogatory when I got it. So Lord, I pray for Wally and Diane. Soften their hearts, open their minds truthfully with all their spells and things. Please guide them to treat their tenants better when they are paying in good faith because they've gotten behind on their rents. Don't threaten them with eviction or court hearings, or, mess up their credit even more than what's already happened in the course of, 2 years of living in your domicile? And they did it to my sister who was dying. She had to go out to welfare and get money, and they sent a woman to her home to work with her on health insurance, and the woman stole $100 off her. My sister was literally in the last 2 months of her life, and she was not able to eat or, just a whole bunch of feelings came out, especially when I was drinking. But then I found out that these people are going to be up for being homeless, and they have been paying in good faith. And then the part that got me was two snakes in the grass, a him and a her, the ones that are the subject here, were standing in the bushes just watching and waiting. And it was intimidation. Oh, we're lawyers. You can't do this. We'll call the police on you. Well, good. Good for you. I'm not afraid, and I wasn't afraid. And, I was ready to take full responsibility for any noise, any fireworks, anything. That they just wanted intimidation and ruin our good time. Oh, you can't have fun. It's July 4th. And the cool thing was, there was a circle around us that everybody was doing fireworks. Oh, yeah. But the thing is, the gang stalking, okay? Wally lives 3 houses down. Has he done a damn thing on the road in the last year and a half? There's all these fancy sports cars and just all these motorcycles that just rev, and they only rev. They come up East Street. You can hear them. They're quiet and everything, and they get right in here, and they go right by Wally's. Now, if he really wants to intimidate people and use his power, you'd think he would put some kind of cameras there for the traffic control of these speeders. But has he? No, he's the one helping them do this. So, there's that. And I knew that information last night when I blew. Oh, yes. Let's see. Fireworks, gang stalkers. Yeah. This is another thing that I'm stuck on is kind of a bore. There's a house, and it's been advertised. It's a $500,000 white farmhouse. It's got 2 gas tanks by it. It's just past the place where they do the annual Christmas, I think, and Halloween things. Carl Hauser lives there. It's just towards Geneva, just past there, not past Geneva. It's on the way to Geneva, not on the way to Canandaigua. You have to be leaving Canandaigua and find this farmhouse in a lull. Okay, last week I Gmailed John Bagley because I was asking. I was offered 2 years ago, before this tenant was living there, I was asked to go, work at a house 5 miles up the road that was growing marijuana, and the man needed a helper because it was such a big operation. He needed a trim helper. And when they found out who was going to work for him, they wouldn't let me near it. Well, that house has been vacant for a long damn time. And now last week that I Gmailed John Bagley, and it was a Griffith Realty sign, but John Bagley was the sales rep. I Gmailed him saying, oh, you put on a good front. Is this the house that I would have got a job at? Trimming the marijuana. Well, now I got to go by there yesterday, and it's got a sale pending thing on it already. I wonder if Mr. Griffith knows about this, any of it, or they just slapped on a sign. And John Bagley's sign now, his name is nowhere on this home, and it says sale pending. I think that's pretty damn fishy, don't you? I don't know, but I was made to notice it, so I think I'm supposed to add this to a video. Maybe I was supposed to make it a separate video. I don't know. On a house I was offered a marijuana job. The guy, yeah. FOX magazine, yeah. Okay, that's it for that page. Wow. So my anger is all above pent up. What does above mean? I don't know what I meant. Because Wally just won't stand up and be an adult and take his karma. He'd rather push me towards Satan, but I'm not going to. But my trigger was alcohol, happy spirit who learned at the moment that people were having to be homeless due to greedy intimidators who were under the guise of friends, however, stabbing in the back at the same time and in on gang stalking and traumatizing. Oh yeah, the old people scam. Yeah, that's another thing that got me kind of irritated. They're picking on old people now to siphon energy from. Okay, the word's out about kids. The word's out about me and chosen people. And now they're picking on the old people that deserve peace. They're not only charging them exorbitant rents and making them leave their families and end up in these places all alone and having to trust total strangers for their care. Now there's two that I know of that they're like in their 80s, late 70s, early 80s. And these people are having to give up their assisted living homes for Lord knows what reason. The one was on WHEC Channel 10. Believe it or not, a friend of mine from Georgia had to show me the article. And it's right here. I live in Canandaigua. It's 30 miles an hour or 30 miles away in Rochester. They're doing this to a woman. She had to trust. I don't know how or why. I don't know the details, but they're investigating it, and it's very common now. They're doing it to siphon and scare these old people, and make them miserable and siphon their energy while they're living in an overcrowded situation. I don't know. I need to put that out there to clear the energy and make people aware that that's some of the light that needs to be shined on the darkness. It's energy manipulation, trauma tactic, power, trauma. The fear, the anger, the strife. They're getting it any way they can. They don't want to go down. All right, that's it for this video. I'm gonna go in and cleanse my energy, definitely. It's been a great day though. Yeehaw! Tomorrow's supposed to be gorgeous too. Have a good night, guys, and good luck with all your anger management and that. I'm still working on this, so I don't know. Oops, sorry. I just can't hold it. I don't know what the point of this was except to teach, that I struggle too, I guess. This is the basic, and I'm wrestling over something, and it's near the end, so I thought it would be a good teachable moment. Good luck, and wish me luck. No, don't pray for me. I'll get others to pray for me that I know, because if you just ask people, random people, to pray for you, they can just pray against you, and then then you're stuck. So, but pray for us all that we find God's way, God's path, and hear God's ear. Open our hearts. No, open our minds, soften our hearts, and hear God's ear. And hear our love. Hear His love. All right. Have a good Saturday night. I can't believe the races aren't still going on. What happened? Usually you can't hear me at all outside, especially even in the house. Usually on a Saturday night, I don't know what's going on. And I went by there, and there's all kinds of vehicles over there. All right. Have a great night. Bye.